You're watching South Asian Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 9th of April. Youth driving strong India. PM Modi ahead of polls. POGB media under pressure. Journalists flag crisis. And India and Bangladesh hold talks. Pledge continued engagement. And now for all the details. As polling begins in multiple states, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has underscored the power of young people in shaping the country's future. In a post shared on X, the Prime Minister said India's youth are actively contributing to building a strong and prosperous nation. His remarks come as polling is underway in Kerala, Assam and Puducherry, marking a significant electoral exercise across the country. The Prime Minister has also urged voters, particularly youth and women, to participate actively in the democratic process and treat elections as a celebration of democracy. In Kerala, over 2.6 crore voters are deciding the fate of 883 candidates across 140 constituencies in a high-stakes contest. Meanwhile, more than 2.5 crore voters are eligible to vote in Assam, while Puducherry is witnessing polling for its 30-member Legislative Assembly. The counting of votes for all three states is scheduled for May 4th. And as the truce between the United States and Iran moves forward, delegations from both sides are set to arrive in Pakistan on Friday for talks, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif announced on Wednesday. Iran's delegation is likely to be led by Parliament Speaker and former Revolutionary Guards Commander Mohammad Bakr, along with Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. Meanwhile, White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt said President Donald Trump is dispatching his Iran negotiating team led by Vice President J.D. Vance. Pakistan has projected itself as a peacemaker between Washington and Tehran, but fresh details in a report indicate that Islamabad may have been nudged by the White House to help broker the temporary ceasefire. Even as both the United States and Iran claim success, significant differences remain unresolved, with each side standing firm on key demands, leaving the outcome of the talks uncertain and crucial for the future of the Middle East.
परसों मेरी दावत पर अमेरिकी वफ्द पाकिस्तान आ रहा है और इस तरह ईरान का वफ्द पाकिस्तान आ रहा है। जंग वक्ती तौर पर टल गई है और जंगबंदी पहला कदम है, मगर हमारी जो मंजिल है वो असल में पायदार और देरपा अमन और तरक्की और खुशहाली है।
Well, Vice President Vance has played a very significant and a key role in this since the very beginning. Of course, he's the president's right-hand man. He is the Vice President of the United States. He's been involved in all of these discussions, and as I just announced, he'll be leading this new phase of negotiations in Islamabad later this week.
And in Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan, journalists have come together to highlight the challenges facing the media community following the unopposed election of a new cabinet at the Gilgit Press Club. We have a report.
A new leadership has taken charge at the Pakistan-occupied Gilgit-Baltistan Press Club after elections for the 2026-27 term concluded without contest. Tahir Rana and his panel were elected unopposed after the rival group, led by Khurshid Ahmed, withdrew from the race, paving the way for a unanimous mandate.
जो हमारा जो बेसिक मुतालिबा था, पॉलिटिकल विक्टिमाइजेशन ना हो, पॉलिटिकल इंजीनियरिंग ना हो, और यहाँ पे जो दस्तूर की खलाबर्जियाँ हो वो ना हो, पसंद हो ना पसंद ना हो, सेलेक्टिव मोरलिटी ना हो, इंतहाई एक फेयर और मेरिट के मुताबिक लोगों को रुकनियत दी जाए.
Journalist leaders emphasized that their decision to step back was aimed at strengthening unity and avoiding internal divisions. Kiran Qasim stressed the need for merit-based governance, transparency in financial matters, and an end to political influence within journalistic bodies.
हम आइंदा भी यही चाहेंगे कि हम जितने भी हमारे तजादात हैं उनको एक साइड पे रखें. जब हम एक इस फोरम के अंदर आते हैं तो हम सारे एक बरादरी के लोग हैं, एक ही आपस में भाई बहन हैं और हमारे दुख दर्द एक जैसे हैं. हमने आपस के मसाइल मिलजुल कर हल करने.
And Bangladesh Foreign Minister Khalilur Rahman on his first visit to India held talks with his Indian counterpart S. Jaishankar in New Delhi on Wednesday, where both sides discussed a range of bilateral issues and agreed to remain in close contact. In a post on X, Jaishankar said the two leaders exchanged views on key regional and global developments, signaling continued diplomatic engagement between the neighbors. Later in the day, Rahman also met the Union Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas Hardeep Singh Puri. Their discussions focused on strengthening the strategic partnership, particularly in areas of energy cooperation, resource sharing, and infrastructure development. Ties between India and Bangladesh have been strained since a political transition in Dhaka in August 2024 disrupted previously close ties under former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who fled to New Delhi after a mass uprising. However, there are emerging signs of a thaw. Bangladesh's current Prime Minister Tariq Rahman stated in February that his government is committed to engaging with neighboring countries based on mutual respect and shared interest, indicating a possible reset in ties. Meanwhile, Sri Lankan authorities have reached a staff-level agreement with the International Monetary Fund (IMF) on key economic policies to conclude the combined 5th and 6th reviews under the extended fundal facility. Once approved by the IMF Executive Board, Sri Lanka is set to receive around $700 million in financial support. According to the IMF, continued economic reforms by the government have contributed to the country's recovery. Foreign exchange reserves have improved, while real GDP growth and revenue collection have performed better than expected. However, the country remains significantly exposed to external risk, particularly the impact of the Middle East conflict, and continues recovery efforts following Cyclone Ditwa. The IMF emphasized that advancing reforms remains critical to safeguarding macroeconomic stability and ensuring the country stays on a path towards sustainable and inclusive growth. Strengthening economic resilience is also essential to better withstand external shocks amid ongoing global uncertainty. And in a first-of-its-kind diplomatic outreach, Nepal's Prime Minister Balendra Shah convened a joint meeting with more than a dozen foreign ambassadors at Singh Darbar in Kathmandu. The move signals a shift in how the new leadership plans to engage with the international community. Envoys from key global players including India, the United States, China, the United Kingdom and Japan attended the meeting, marking a new shift from the traditional one-on-one courtesy calls typically held after a new government takes office. Since assuming office on March 27, Shah has declined repeated requests from foreign envoys for individual meetings, signaling a more structured and less informal diplomatic approach. From an underground rap artist to mayor of Kathmandu in 2022 and now Prime Minister of Nepal, Balendra Shah's rise has been nothing short of extraordinary. Running as an independent candidate, Shah defeated established leaders like KP Sharma Oli in a political upset that reshaped national politics. His appeal among young voters and his massive digital following have helped him bypass traditional political channels. And that's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Till then, good night.